fans, our next match on RCW Late Night Wrestling is set for one fall with a 20-minute time limit. Your referee, Mr. Chuck Poe. Introducing first from Memphis, Tennessee, he is all that, Alan Steele! And his opponent from Sykeston, Missouri, this is Justin the Juice Small!
Here we go, wrestling fans, with another exciting edition of RCW Late Night Wrestling here on KAIT, TV8 Jonesboro. And yes, this is your card today, feature match of the week. Going to be great one-on-one action between Justin the Juice Smart, wrestling out of Sykeston, Missouri, in the blue tights. Trunks, that is, his opponent in the black, blue, and gray. All that Alan Steele, a man who is undefeated here in Ringside Championship Wrestling. Not only is he undefeated, but he's looking for someone. And that's someone we still do not know exactly who it is. Maybe, just maybe, we'll find out here. We might even find out this week on Ringside Championship Wrestling Late Night. Referee for this contest, Chuck Poe. He's going to do a fantastic job. Glad to have Chuck on the RCW staff. As you see the Juice now, he is actually trying to gain control of. He's looking for his first win here in Ringside Championship Wrestling. Had a couple of great encounters so far in his RCW career, but hasn't yet been able to taste the joy of victory from Face Like by the Juice. Want to thank all the great fans who came out just hours ago in Forest City, and we do have our first RCW heavyweight champion. However, we do not know who it is right now because technically the television broadcast you're watching is a couple of days edited before earlier tonight, so we do not know at this present time who the RCW champion is. Those of you who came to Forest City certainly know, and those of you who will visit rronews.com here just shortly can find out who is the RCW champion. Our good friend Brian Trammell, we hope he was in the house. He was scheduled to be. Hopefully he was there. He reported it. If not, we'll be sure to get the results up there courtesy of RCW on rronews.com. Fans, you heard just a second ago, started clap, get behind the Juice. This young man, he quickly endears himself to the crowd as they like his attitude, his appearance. He comes out, he is very nice to greet the fans, sign autographs during intermissions and things of that nature. So a very well-liked man, but all that Alan Steele, on the other hand, he could care less about the adulation in the crowd. He just wants to be victorious. Nice, impressive shoulder tackle by all that Alan Steele. A man who has made quite the name for himself in the last 10-12 years of his professional wrestling career. Wrestled for a lot of major league promotions. Power Pro Wrestling. PPW was a huge wrestling organization in this area. He was a star for them. Wrestled for Memphis Championship Wrestling. He's wrestled on Memphis television. But he has told me that this is where he wants to really prove himself. Ringside Championship Wrestling, but take nothing away from the Juice, who now has clamped in a side headlock. His referee, Chuck Poe, right there asking all that if he wants to give it up. Take nothing away from the Juice. He is going to do all in his power to get that victory and move up the ranks himself to try to be a contender for the whomever is the RCW heavyweight champion, either Girl Candy Christian Jacobs or John Michael Worthington. 2 count only, then exchange, and then a deep arm dragon twist by Justin the Juice Smart. Certainly had to be watching a lot of Ricky the Dragon Steamboat home videos, picking up a few things there for his own personal repertoire. Big announcement coming up a little bit later on in this edition of RCW Late Night Wrestling. We are going to be part of one of the biggest events in Northeast Arkansas every summer. We'll have that announcement a little bit later on tonight. Also, we have a couple of events coming up in the month of July we'll be telling you about. It's going to be a hot summer for Ringside Championship Wrestling. We had a great time, as a matter of fact, about a week ago in Wynne, Arkansas at Farm Fest. I want to thank all the fans who braved the hot temperatures to come out and watch some great free wrestling as all that Alan Steele caught the Juice in the ropes. Shoulder block, shoulder to the midsection. But the Juice, he's going to... the Juice trying to think and be smart there. He's kind of got all that out of whack here. Oh, man. He is really frustrating Alan Steele. Let's see what happens here. Alan Steele's not happy about it. And all that takes a tumble to the floor. And the Juice has this crowd, this great crowd here. at the Boys and Girls Club of St. Francis County fired up from a couple of weeks ago when we were there, our first time into Forest City. And we're certainly glad to be coming back to Forest City on a regular basis. We've been blessed with so many great towns in Northeast Arkansas. Truman, we were there a couple of times. We've been to Augusta 2 or 3 times. And now we've added Forest City to the touring schedule. All that Alan Steele using this time here on the floor to catch his breath, thinking that maybe that's what he needs to. Now he's also, but this is a veteran move too, ladies and gentlemen. This is one of those things where all that Alan Steele tries to slow that momentum. Justin Smart had really been on fire in this matchup for a couple of minutes there. That you saw the deep arm dragon twist. He outsmarted Alan. He was thinking maybe I can get the upper hand, and Alan Steele, he broke that momentum. And let's see if it works for him. It didn't work right there as he went head first to that turnbuckle. And now Steele finds himself right back on the floor. Look out! Good grief! That is what you call a front row seat, ladies and gentlemen. When you come out to Ringside Championship Wrestling, going to be right at your feet. And those young fans there, they loved every second of that one as the juice went airborne against all that Alan Steele. Now it's going to bring him back in the ring. High flying action, excitement. RCW coming at you. 2 count just a second to go only, and the juice is going to fly right back in there, get on all that Alan Steele, try to get this victory because he needs to if he has hopes and dreams of being in that RCW championship chase. Oh, man! I don't think we caught it all, but you can see just enough of it that all that Alan Steele moved out of the way, and the juice, that shoulder, hit that steel post, that unforgiving steel post, and now the juice is going to have to do something here. Something to get away from all that, because I have a feeling he's about to be taken to the School of Hard Knocks, School of Punishment, courtesy of all that Alan Steele, who now has that left arm, that shoulder. It's got to be, if it isn't broken, it's certainly bruised and damaged. And all that's going to take advantage of it. Lots happening in Ringside Championship Wrestling. Also, a little bit later in this very broadcast, we're going to tell you about a superstar making his return to Ringside Championship Wrestling. Cannot wait to see him back here on the RCW roster as we bring you the best in professional wrestling from all over the planet. Everybody wants to be here at RCW, and the Juice wants to get a win, and he almost did right there. But all that Alan Steele, right like that, is not going to let the momentum come back for the Juice, as he realized a little while ago, and you see he's going to point at his head how smart he is. And the fans are letting all that know what they think about him in Forest City, Arkansas. Body slam by all that, using that arm, kind of tucked it underneath to do some damage on the Juice. You know, I've received a lot of phone calls asking me, saying, come on, Brian, you've been around the professional wrestling business for a good 10 years now, and you certainly have to know who the man is that all that Alan Steele is going after. I have a couple of ideas. I don't think they're right. I'm curious to see at the end of the day just exactly who all that is looking for. I'm certainly glad it's not me, because I've never wrestled. So I'm out of the equation, but thank goodness for that. But I tell you what, whomever the man is that all that Alan Steele wants a piece of, I'm sure he's having some sleepless nights. And the Juice right there with a backslide almost had Alan Steele. Oh, and Alan caught him right like that. Just tried to knock him right in the chest, took both hands, kind of made a double fist, and then jabbed him right in the upper chest area. You can see the Juice sucking for some wind. That will knock you silly in a heartbeat. All that's going to take that left arm. He has continued to zone in on it. Watch it. Trying to get a submission. Now just taunting the man. Referee Chuck Poe right there. Great officials. We have a whole roster full of great referees that are available at any given point for Ringside Championship Wrestling. And this night we had Chuck Poe in the house. He's right there making sure everybody is doing what they're supposed to do and competing in that ring. The knee to the forehead of the Juice, as all that Alan Steele just took the Juice and rammed him, just threw his knee into the forehead, had to do a lot of damage. And now, oh man, he's picking him up like a sack of groceries. He has that arm tucked behind him, and Alan Steele drove it right into the knee. Could be all she wrote. But give the Juice credit, he's not going out like that. What a great time we've had in recent weeks Ringside Championship Wrestling. We were in Augusta back on May the 29th, Memorial Day weekend. Double duty, the superstars left there and then headed to Jonesboro. Car today, our great sponsor. I want to thank Mark Crabtree, Craig Stone, and the entire staff of Car today. We saw some of that action last week here. We may have some more clips and highlights from that show in coming weeks here on Ringside Championship Wrestling Late Night. Then, of course, we went to Farm Fest, Wynn, Arkansas. So we've just been all over the area. Jonesboro, Wynn, Forest City, Truman, Augusta, you name it. We've been trying to get there, and we want to come to your town. If you want to see RCW live in your town, let us know. You can call me, 870-238-2772, and I will certainly return your phone call. 2 count only right there, says referee Chuck Poe. Is all that looking for that next victory as he continues to climb the ladder. He's certainly going to be one of those guys that when it comes time to decide the next contender for the RCW Championship, he's going to be at the top of the list because he has just been unstoppable since coming to Ringside Championship Wrestling. We saw him in a great matchup against Dangerous Dan Matthews. We've seen him against now Justin Juice Smart. Let's see if he holds on for a victory here. We saw him against Kevin Charles as well. So all that Alan Steele just continues to impress. And he looks like he's going to be a part of Ringside Championship Wrestling for a long time to come. One of the great athletes, as is the Juice, who finds himself in an uncompromising position here. I think, though, all that may be making a mistake by taunting him. Needs to focus, needs to do what he's got to do. Let's see what happens here. He's going to try to, maybe suplex him using that arm off the top rope, but the Juice is firing back. Impressively enough, the Juice able to break that situation up. Justin Smart thinks he's going airborne. Let's see what happens here. He's perched up there on that top rope. Is he going to fly? And he does. Blockbuster-like maneuver by the Juice, Justin Smart. And now a great chance for him. I tell you what, I've been talking about Alan Steele and that streak of victories. If the Juice is able to beat Alan Steele, a lot of that momentum shifts in his corner, and the promoters all around the area will be looking at the Juice when it comes time to decide who needs to be contending for championships. A swing and a miss by Alan Steele and a counter by the Juice. Another swing and a miss and a second forearm. The Juice is just coming alive against all that here this week on RCW Late Night. And a big back body drop just a second ago. The Juice is in control, fired up. He is clicking on all cylinders. Now we're seeing a series of drop kicks. What's coming up next from this young man? Oh, Alan still caught him. But the Juice, now he's got something in mind. Back suplex, wow. And the Juice may have a chance to go for a cover. Let's see what happens here. Let's see if he's able to get the win. Oh, referee right there, 2 count only. I want to thank all the fans who listen to KBFC Radio down in Forest City. I'm becoming a big fan of KBFC down there. You can listen to them online at www.kbfc.com, and that's exactly what I like to do, listen to them. If you don't get a chance to hear them live on the morning show, you can, Richard Benson and Rob Johnson, if you don't get to hear those guys live on the radio, you can go ahead later on in the day, download the audio off kbfc.com, and they did a great job in helping promote Ringside Championship Wrestling both times coming to Forest City. The Juice now looking to promote himself in title contention if he can beat Alan Steele. Let's see what happens. The Juice catching Alan Steele with a back elbow. He's going to go airborne. Oh, the Juice, he mistimed. The Juice mistimed that last high impact maneuver, and it may cost him here. Oh, wait a second, Alan Steele, he's thinking about locking on that steel trap. And folks, if he gets this in, I have a gut feeling that it's going to be all short. He's tapping out, referee not seeing him on one side. He's having to tap on both sides. And this matchup, ladies and gentlemen, is over. Your winner is All That Alan Steele.
All That Alan Steele.
All right, wrestling fans, we're going to have to take a brief time out. We'll do that. We'll go to a couple commercials. But I'll tell you what I want to do is I want to go to ringside. I want to hear Alan Steele's comments about this victory. And I think I'm going to ask that tough question. Who is Alan Steele looking for? Maybe we'll find out in just a moment. Right after this timeout, we'll be back with more RCW Late Night in just a moment.
The Ken Wayne School of Professional Wrestling is looking for new students. Think you've got what it takes to make it in the ring? Train with wrestling legend Nightmare Ken Wayne. Learn the ins and outs of the wrestling game. Train to be a professional wrestler, manager, or referee. Women are encouraged to apply and financing is available. Call us now for tuition information or log on to nightmarekenwayne.com for the Ken Wayne School of Professional Wrestling.
Quiet. Hold still. Becker. Beckham. Beckham. Feel like Bad Credit has you locked up? Card a day will bail you out.
Card a day, you ride a day, 'cause we just say yes. Card a day, you ride a day, our deal is the best.
Good credit or bad credit at Card a Day, we say yes. There you go.
Card a day, you ride a day, 'cause we just say yes.
Brian Thompson back for RCW Late Night Wrestling right here on KAIT TV8 Jonesboro, and this is becoming a regular feature. Myself interviewing the victorious All That Alan Steele. And Alan, you are now 3-0 in Ringside Championship Wrestling, but my phone, the emails have been coming out with the woodwork asking just who is the individual you have targeted. I researched, I couldn't figure out who it is. Who are you after here that used to wrestle briefly in Ringside Championship Wrestling?
The $1 million question, Brian Thompson. Who is it that has that bullseye on their back? Who is it that has ticked all that off so much that he's driving up and down the highway every week looking for him, and he keeps tucking that tail and running to the house, Brian Thompson? You know, I don't know what this guy's doing. And again, it's my dark secret. I don't know what you're doing, punk, but I know you're watching, and that's why you're not here. You're probably sitting around in your house with your kids, making little personal highlight reels of yourself. Huh?
Come on, give us a break. All the fans have been asking. It's my job as a journalist to find out. You gotta tell me right here, right now. Come on, man. Don't keep the suspense. I'm dying to know.
Well, if this was a court and you were the judge and these things were the jury, I guess I'd have to plead the fifth, Brian Thompson. But like I told you last time, you line them up and I'll knock them down. I just squeezed the juice right out of Justin Smart a minute ago, and it was beautiful. Because let me tell you guys, everybody in RCW, everybody in any organization that exists, if you fall into the steel trap, it's up to me when and or if I let you go.
Well, there you have it. I'm a great journalist, but even I can't find out who this man is targeting. Maybe we could get another word in a couple of weeks. He's just going to keep playing with us. We'll be back with more RCW Late Night in just a moment.
I'm not going to make it that easy for you. Why would I tell you?
We're off camera now.
You can bring all the guys in and I'll keep laying them out. That's all you got to worry about. Nobody escapes the steel trap, Brian Thompson. And they don't call me all that.
Alan Steele.
We can put a hard-working family in a good sedan, van, truck, or SUV. Car today, you'll ride today, 'cause we just say yes. Even good people have credit problems, we understand. Car today, you ride today, we have a plan. Come on down, you'll see what we got. Your next and we'll sit it on our lot. Car today, you'll ride today, because we say yes.
If you've been turned down, come to Car today and get your next set of wheels from our lot.
Car today, you ride today, 'cause we just say yes.
Wrestling fans, we promised you a big announcement, and here it is. RCW will be a part this year of the annual 4th in the Forest Festival in Jonesboro at Craighead Forest Park this year on Saturday, July 3rd, 2010. A full day activities for just $10 per carload. Don't you miss it! Wrestling fans, we promise you news on a big superstar coming back to RCW, and yes, he is coming back. Rodney Mack, former ECW and WWE superstar, is returning to Ringside Championship Wrestling. Before he gets back, let's see how he made a big impression on all of us back in the month of April. Take a look.
That's not just any dog. Let's give it up for Rodney Mack. Well, I tell you, I'm shocked. I mean, I don't even know what to say, and I'm usually at a loss for words. So apparently you had a conversation in the locker room that may have changed your outlook on life and wrestling with this man, Rodney Mack. Rodney, welcome to Ringside Championship Wrestling.
Well, thanks, guys, and it's just great to be here in RCW, and I just can't wait to get out here and show all you fans, man, just what the dog still got in store for you. Right here in Truman, baby.
I tell you what, well, Dynamite Seth Knight here says you gave him a lot of advice. Just kind of fill us in on what some of the advice you gave him. What were some of those words of wisdom and confidence?
Well, you know, I've been watching the kid, for a while, and he's been around. And man, I like his work, and I just keep telling him, keep working hard, kid, and man, just stay in the ring 7 days a week, and that's what it takes, man, and he's been doing a real good job. Yeah.
Okay, any other advice you'd like to share with him here that maybe you didn't get a chance to say backstage before we brought him out?
Oh yes. By the way, man, there's one thing real important, man. Real important that I forgot to tell you. Never ever in this business, never trust anybody.
What? Hey, come on!
Quiet. House down. Becker. Beckham. Beckham. Feel like that credit has you locked up? Card today will bail you out.
Card today, you ride me, just say yes. Card today, you ride today, our deal is the best.
Good credit or bad credit at Card today, we say yes. There you go.
Card today, you ride today, just say yes.
And yes, indeed, wrestling fans, are taking you back in time in an RCW flashback, so to speak, courtesy of RCW Home Video, featuring the RCW debut of Rodney Mack in Truman, Arkansas, back on April 2nd, when he attacked Dynamite Seth Knight, a man who he had been coaching in the back, giving him all kinds of advice. And then he said, the only advice I forgot to give you, Dynamite, was in this business, don't trust anybody. And he proved that you can't trust this dog as he just tries to overpower Dynamite Seth Knight. You saw, before we cut to a commercial break, you saw the savage attack courtesy of Rodney Mack on Dynamite Seth Knight. Unbelievable. And now the dog in complete control on Dynamite, working him over. But Seth Knight, he's a young man that has a lot of fire, a lot of heart, and he's not going to just go down that easily as he starts to make a comeback against the dog, who is returning soon to Ringside Championship Wrestling, and we will have more details on that in the coming weeks here on RCW. Glad to have Rodney Mack a part of Ringside Championship Wrestling again on the regular roster. he is certainly going to make an impact, and I had this gut feeling that part of the reason he is back, returning to RCW after a few week absence, is for one reason, and one reason only, and that is whomever is the RCW Heavyweight Champion that was crowned earlier tonight. Again, go to rronews.com right now to find out who won that matchup between John Michael Worthington and Girl Candy Christian Jacobs. Referee Tom Simon right there saying 2 count only, Rodney. He got his shoulder up. Rodney Mack and Seth Knight. You know, there may be some bad blood spilled over between these two, as Dynamite Seth Knight continues to compete, trying to get his winning ways. He's had a couple of victories here in RCW, trying to add more as he tries to get in contention for the RCW Championship. As you see Rodney Mack, even almost blatantly right there in front of the referee, trying to pull the rope. Maybe the referee didn't see that particular exchange. And now Rodney just going to drive some elbows into the rib cage area of Dynamite Seth Knight, just working this man, working him over. Former ECW star, former WWE superstar Rodney Mack, as he uses that top rope for momentum in this abdominal stretch. And you can see the grimace and the pain on the face of Dynamite Seth Knight in this matchup from back on April 2nd in Truman, Arkansas. Rodney Mack, very well accomplished. And as I mentioned, I think he's looking for championship gold. He has some people also in RCW that he has a past with. We'll see what happens there. But it was announced earlier this week that Rodney Mack would be coming back to Ringside Championship Wrestling real soon on a regular basis. You never know when he's going to show up. And as I mentioned, who knows, maybe he even showed up in Forest City earlier today. As mentioned, due to the editing requirements from local television affiliates, we were not able to have results from earlier tonight on this week's broadcast. But again, the Quick Media online, you can find out at rronews.com. Our good friend Brian Trem on his website, as Rodney Mack with a nasty spear. 1, 2, 3. And you see back on his debut, Rodney Mack took advantage. An early surprise attack on Dynamite Seth Knight, and then used the momentum to carry him to victory in Truman, Arkansas. What a nasty man, Rodney Mack. And I think it's going to be a hard summer for a lot of people, especially those who are going to be on the bad side of the dog. Ladies and gentlemen, we mentioned it. We're going to be a part of Fourth in the Forest. We mentioned we have a champion crown. We will find out all these great things going on in RCW in the upcoming weeks. That's why you got to keep watching us right here on KIT every Saturday night at 12:30. Again, thank you for joining us this week. We will see you next week when we will have more on the Rodney Mack situation. More. Maybe we found out who Alan Steele's going after. And, of course, we will tell you all about who is the man, who is the first ever RCW Heavyweight Champion. Was it John Michael Worthington, or was it Girl Candy Christian Jacobs? And I think the dog wants to send us home and send Seth Knight out of here with another spear. That's nasty. We'll see you next week.